Welcome to the Kind of Intentional podcast. Life gets full fast and it's easy to drift from the life you actually want to build. Each episode, we're going to take on one real-life topic, share honest stories, and pull out practical ideas you can actually use. These episodes, they're short, they're focused, and they're intentional because your time matters, and so does the life you're building. I'm Tom LiCalzi, here with my co-host, Danielle Andrew.
Hello, everyone.
Fun fact, we got to go to the Forrest Frank concert earlier this week, and it was like legit.
I am still reeling from that. It was like so awesome.
So much fun and enjoyment with our families. And the fun fact is I don't like music. So, yeah.
But the fun fact for me is I knew the entire time that he was doing his little video of how he was mixing his music. You were geeking out. Am I right? Or am I right?
I loved every bit of it. So
that was super cool. It was great.
But it was actually better because he specifically said he likes simple beats and he tries to pull as much out of it as possible. It's like, Forrest Frank, you and I are like bros.
I know. You guys, I mean, you may as well be best friends.
I was thinking the same
Shout
thing.
Out, Forrest.
Yeah. Probably polar opposites in that, but no big deal.
It was awesome, and you're right. It was
super fun. All right, what are we talking about today?
Invisible workload.
I love this topic so much. I mean,
I feel like this is something everyone can relate to.
Yeah, but they probably don't have context or words.
They may not.
Yeah. So, what are we thinking about with invisible workload? What were your thoughts here?
Like all of those things that are racking around in your brain.
Yeah.
That you don't even realize.
Right.
That like cognitive load of
sure.
things. And it's funny, like, you know, the phrase, you don't know what you don't know kind of thing. You don't know about cognitive load unless you know about cognitive load. I know, it's crazy. But, you know, once you know about that and that it exists and it's a thing, you are mind blown. Like,
For
oh
sure.
My gosh, that explains so much.
I have no idea my mind worked
like
this.
I'm not a psycho. I just didn't know what cognitive load was.
And how my brain works. All right, let's break this down a little bit more. Because I think one of the things that we're thinking through here is that there's just this invisible load that's being carried around in our head. And this is why it makes it so difficult when we make a commitment to do one more thing for somebody, one more favor, one more meeting, one more thing. It's so difficult to get through there. We're going to touch on decision fatigue too, because I think these two things are very related.
Mm-hmm.
But because we're carrying so much around in our mental capacity and that frontal lobe, that it's this invisible workload. And so we talked about it a little bit last episode where we just physically write down the tasks. But I think these are just the recurring tasks that happen in our lives all the time that we don't even necessarily give credit to.
Mm-mm.
And so like one of the things that happened to me, this was years ago, I get the innocent notification from the bank, like, hey, don't forget to pay your bill. And it comes in through an email. And then in the fine
so
print,
nice of them.
They're like, by the way, this is just an automated message. If you already paid your bill, just forget this. Well, in a panic, I went in and I logged into my bank and I paid all my bills again. Unfortunately, that was the second time that month that I'd already done the things because all these automated messages were just coming out. And I'm not going to remember when I paid my bills or anything like that. Relying on this email. Well, the email is not synced to whether or not I did or didn't pay the bill. So this gave me this idea like, oh my gosh, like I need a better way. I need a better system to remind myself of when these things are due. So that way I can pay them on time. And then I don't have to mentally go back and check my emails or go back to the bank. I mean, certainly I could go back to the bank and I could log in. I could see pending transactions or who's got time for that? Like, I don't got time for that. And so this idea, this invisible workload were these reoccurring tasks that we all carry. And so they could be like our bill payments that happen on a monthly basis between our sewer bill and our water bill, whatever the case may be, those happen on a recurring basis. But they could also be things like anniversaries and calendar appointments that are recurring, or they could be birthdays. And so we came up with this idea of like capturing all these things that typically are invisible that are just recurring. Sometimes even things in our job are just reoccurring. I mean, if you're an accountant, you do the same kind of repetitive tasks every single month where you're closing the books, you're doing the end of month reports and everything else. And most of the time it's just a recurring schedule and you just know it generally.
You just do it.
But that's exactly what we're talking about.
Right.
It's invisible. It's in your mind. It doesn't necessarily show up anywhere in any kind of system because you've been doing it for so long. It's just kind of part of those things. But now when we start to stack that with just all the other things that we're carrying and all the other capacity that we have, it starts to become a bigger problem because we're
Mm-hmm.
carrying around this load and this weight of these things that we typically do on autopilot almost,
Right.
in addition to these others. And so when we make that commitment to do one more volunteer thing, one more meeting, whatever the case may be, we totally miss the context of all this
Mm-hmm.
invisible work that we've had before, right?
Yeah.
So what does that look like though for decision fatigue? Like how do those two things relate to you?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I didn't know that was one of those things. I didn't really know about decision fatigue. And like, I remember coming home from school as a teacher and just being so exhausted and someone saying, "What's for dinner?"
Yeah.
Snap. I don't, then yeah, you just instantly just freak out.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, I've been making thousands of decisions all day. And like, really, when you think about it, I mean, even in our jobs, just some jobs are different, but like you're making decisions on a daily basis, especially if you're working in, you've got, you're doing these like small little things all day you're making decisions on. And I just think we don't realize the weight of all of those things. And so then when, you get to the end of your day and a simple, literally
question.
Survival question.
I need food.
I need food to survive. And you are my parent.
Yeah.
So what are you making me?
Yeah.
Then you snap on that. And so I just think making yourself even just aware that making decisions all day is a cognitive task and it's exhausting.
Yeah, for sure.
And so giving yourself like just the understanding that that's okay. Like that's a thing. It's okay to feel that. But I like genuinely didn't know that was a thing until one day my eyes were awakened to it and I was like, I am not a psycho.
It's just like our minds are such complicated things.
And they really are.
It's so amazing to think about like the fact that we carry this much stuff that, I just saw that our minds in the subconscious are able to do millions of things and process millions of bits of information every second. And like, I can't hardly wrap my mind around the fact that our subconscious minds are able to do that. But if you think about just walking and breathing and your organs doing, and you're just analyzing your temperature settings and all these things, you start to realize like our minds do have the capacity to do so much thing. And then it's where we start to get into this habit of, or this mindset of like trying to carry the tasks that we need to do. That's why we really wanted to identify this as like a true thing, like invisible work that we do kind of repetitively, we do all the time. I mean, that we just need to find a way to visualize it because it allows our mind to be able to see it in a different context and be able to process it differently. And I think that was really the mindset was like, oh my gosh, like there is a lot more that we do that makes it so much easier to fit into your schedule when it's visible. And so this can be a whole bunch of different things. And so like, I love it when, I visualize it. I talked about it in one episode where he just touched on it. I have all these recurring reminders that happen on my phone. Those are invisible work. There's things that I really value and I really prioritize in my schedule in my day. But typically those would be invisible,
right?
Until I put them into the reminder system in my phone that actually physically shows up. Those things to everybody else would be pretty much invisible. The same thing would be true for like, typically you do obviously have to pay a bill. It has to come out of your bank account and go into that other one. But that reminder of it, whether or not it's scattered across emails or it's scattered across any of those other things, just having that capacity to be able to check it off and just physically see like, okay, I have to do it on the 12th in order for it to get delivered on time, to physically be able to just check it off, hopefully in a digital way, not on a paper way, and for it to auto reoccur the next month on the
I'm not
day.
judging you, listeners, just so you know.
Everybody, is everybody's different, but everybody that does paper. I'm just
everybody that does paper is wrong.
I'm gonna be polar on that one. People are gonna send me hate mail. I'm sure one of these days they're gonna be like, I love paper.
It will be also me.
Yeah,
one of the people sending you hate mail.
Yeah. And so I think what we're thinking through there is because these recurring things and a lot of times invisible work recurs, right? And so it may happen every single day, like my reminders. It may happen once a month, like a bill payment. It may happen once a year, like a birthday reminder or something like that. But those are all invisible things that typically cognitively we carry around. And I think that's what's weighing us down with those decisions because we're trying to remember those things that we need to do in addition to some of the other life safety things. Not life safety seems dramatic for dinner, but survival.
Well, sometimes it is a life or death.
If you've tasted my cooking, it is life safety.
I mean, if you have had a hangry child before, you know that you better be very quickly getting a meal figured out.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but you're right. Like, as far as your reminders, I love that because I'm just thinking through, you know, you had mentioned, did I remember to do that? Because
Yes.
like we ask ourselves that all the time.
Right.
Shoot, did I blah, blah, blah? Because there's so much stuff going on that you can't keep track of every little thing. And so the nice thing about having it in the reminders app is you're having it in one location so you don't have to go to your email. And then for me, I don't know about you, but sometimes we have multiple email addresses.
Yeah, for sure. We try to manage each one of those
I
inboxes.
can't believe I just admitted that to you.
Yeah.
But we do. And then you're like, wait, what email address is that connected to?
Oh, yeah.
And then you're like, oh, so if it's in the reminders app, no more. Like, where do I go to find this? Plus, did I do it? Yeah, I checked it off. It's checked off. I did it.
Don't have to think about it anymore.
It's all in one place. This is a great way
because again, what we're not trying to do is we're not trying to eliminate things from our lives and that. Like a lot of those times, what we're talking about is these are things we have to do. And we're being a little bit more intentional with how we catch them. We're kind of intentional, I guess I should have said,
just
with
a little
how we
bit.
capture them. So that way we have more capacity to think and make better decisions. Because what we really want is when we do show up for those things, we have extra margin. We're not mentally carrying those things around all day of all these tasks. So when we do come home and we show up to the people that we love, we're able to just, we're not quite as taxed, as burdened as far as making all those decisions because we've pre-decided to capture those in a system that we trust, so that way we can go back to it and see it. So again, what we're doing is we're protecting the capacity for the things that we value the most there.
Yeah.
So, but okay. Well, this is great. I mean, I love this conversation again. Invisible workload. So,
and decision fatigue
tied together, one little bow around it, because again,
beautiful package.
Yeah, for sure. So again, we hope that these episodes are great, that they're great in some context of it. Some of this is about just kind of creating common terminology, kind of creating a little tagline, like the kids say, hashtag invisible
hashtag
work,
do they say
invisible,
hashtag?
I don't know, it sounds good. Pound sign, that's really bad. Pound sign,
Grandpa.
Invisible workload. But we'll hope everybody's enjoying it. We thank you for listening. Come back next week. We'll be dropping another episode next Tuesday. Continue to send us some of that mail, those messages about what we can do to improve. Like us, follow us, do all those things. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.